How y'all doing? Welcome, 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 welcome. Hi, Candy Time. Hey, Goddess. How are you guys doing this evening? Now, hey, Detroit 313, Meryl Snow, Outspoken. Miss Parker, how y'all doing? Sup, honey? Yes. Come on into the room. Come on into the room. Hey, K God's Child. Hey, Mia S. Yes, I guess I got this thing finally working, guys. I'm sorry I'm a few minutes late. Welcome, A. Lee. Hey, Scorpionus Bay. There go my elements. Yes. Hey, Outspoken. Yes, elements. Come on into the room. I am so sorry that I am 10 minutes late. It was supposed to start at 7, but y'all already know how it is when you have children. Okay. But before I begin, Lauren, as a matter of fact, did you receive your club chat bottle that you won in the contest? Did it get to you yet? Hey, T baby. Yeah, let me know whether or not oh, you did. You did. Okay, good, good. Lauren was one of the winners of the contest. Hey, Dutch V. Hey, Miss A. Lauren and the other young lady was a winner of the contest, and I mailed off their prizes and they got them. So guys, let me go ahead and jump into what we are discussing. Okay, if you guys watched my other video, this was an episode of Spill Your Own Damn Tea. Okay, hey, Sexy Harlem. And basically, we received an email from a young lady who wanted to remain anonymous. I'm going to find the email so that I can read it to you guys again, okay? So that you can know exactly what it is that she wanted advice for. And then after that, I would love for you guys to call in and give her your opinion, all right? The call-in number should be listed on your screens right now. I'll say it is 1-646-570-1040. The PIN number is 953-7243. So I'm about to go ahead and read the email. Now, this is how it went, guys. Hi, I really want to remain anonymous. Well, I got married in January of 2017. After I got married, I found some stuff out about my husband from his cousin and ex-girlfriend. And recently he did something strange. He met up with an old friend of his. He met him to talk to him about a job, but I had a feeling that something wasn't right. I texted his friend acting like my husband, and his friend said some hateful stuff about me, and I never even met his friend before. Every time I try to talk to my husband about certain stuff, he shut down and get upset. My husband admitted to being with another man before, but he's still holding on to secrets about him and men. I honestly don't know what to do. If you can try to give me some advice without beating me down. I stayed with him because I love him. Please help me. That was the email that I received the other day. I have since tried to look, basically connect back with the young lady in order to see if she would be willing to actually do a call-in, to get a little bit more information. Because I remember the last time that we talked about this, somebody in the chat asked a very great question, and she asked whether or not they had children. Again, I did not get a chance to talk back with her about that to probe for more questions. So as of now, we're going to assume they don't have any children. And then I thought about it again too. The part within the email when she says that her husband told her before about him being with a man. Initially, when I first heard it, I thought, well, was she talking about she found this out in the beginning before they got married, or was it something that he told her afterward? Did he cheat on her after the marriage? What was the information that the cousin and the I believe it was the ex-girlfriend or something gave her? You know what I'm saying? So again, if you guys could call in and just give me your opinion. Like, what would you do if you were in this exact situation, okay? Again, the number is 1646-570-1040. PIN number is 953-7243. I would really like to know how you guys feel about this situation. Do you know anyone who has been in this situation, where you can speak and actually give her some type of advice? Whenever he told her he was dealing with men, she should have left immediately. Yeah, I can agree with that. Again, I wanted to be very sensitive with this subject because, again, the fact that she was raw enough to come to us and let us know what was going on, I do appreciate her for that. But again, as I did start to look at the situation and think about it more and more, I mean, I know for me personally, that's not something that I would be able to deal with. And then again, I still don't know whether or not she found out this before they got married or was it something that came out after, but that's a difficult situation to be in. Like, that's something I would not advise her to stay in. But, at the same time, when you're married to somebody, it's for better or for worse. So, I mean, it just really depends. I feel there are some missing pieces to this story. Yeah, that's why I really wish that I would have been able to talk to her more about it or whatever. She pretty much know what the concept of the thing that I'm doing is. So, but I would have rather talked to her instead of just reading the email so that I could actually fill her out and everything. But I also do understand that this is not an easy situation to tell anyone, because I'm sure everything that's being said to her negatively, if she have said something, I mean, this is stuff that she probably already knows, but clearly she reached out for a reason. Hey, Miss Boyd, I concur 100% with outspoken. Lauren, I want to call in, but my neighbors are building outside and it is loud. It's okay. Me personally, married or not, I would leave for better or for worse, but nah. This is very sensitive and she may want to seek counseling because there's a lot to this story not being said. I agree, K Godchild. That's why it's a very, as y'all saw, it was very hard for me. Oh, we got a caller. Hold on one second. Hello, welcome to the channel. Who am I speaking with?
No.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Hey, everybody in the chat. Hey, Elements. Hey, Club Chat.
Hey.
Listen, I'm a lady of a certain age, and the older you get, the more you try to understand things. Now, for me, that would be a no-go for me.
Okay.
I'm sorry, because I feel like I can't compete.
Right.
It's hard enough to compete with another woman. So he got something that you love, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. You love who you love. I ain't with all that dumb stuff about, oh well, it's wrong and
yeah,
this say that and the Bible say that. No, that's bull crap at the end of the day. But you know what? As this world evolves, it's all types of relationships in this world. And it's whatever you're willing to deal with, whatever you feel comfortable with. If you love them that much and you think that you could put up with that, then hey, do it. But you have to think long and hard, and you have to have those discussions like, okay, what are we doing here? Are you being safe? Or were you safe?
Right.
Do I need anything to protect myself? You know what I'm saying? Because listen, it's all types of relationships in this world. Now, just because you do it, I don't mean I would do it. You know what I'm saying?
No, I absolutely, not to cut you off, I absolutely agree with everything that you're saying. I wouldn't even say that it's a difference in 2019. I think that there has always been different relationships for people. I think that the only difference is that with it being 2019, more people are more willing to basically share and be free with their different arrangements. And I do agree with you that, whatever you're willing to put up with, that's okay. Like, I have no problem with it. But clearly, if she's reaching out, and clearly if, her husband is not talking to her about this situation, it's something that is bothering her. And sometimes, a lot of times, you have to ask yourself, is love even enough?
Exactly, and that's why I agree with you, honey, and that's why I said what I said. Listen, I'm gonna have to hit the dough. I'm gonna hit the skids, because that right there, and then you don't want to talk to me. See, that means you're hiding something from me. Because at least, some women, I will be gone. Ain't no talking.
All right.
We ain't talking about nothing, because you didn't talk to me first. So, she's willing to work it out. It's just like you said, obviously she feels something because she reached out to you. So she's looking for something. Yeah, she's searching for something in the dark that he ain't giving her. But see, that's a clear indication, honey, you got to go.
Yes,
because
and then
if you living in a house with somebody and you love them enough to be like, hey, I'm willing to talk. I'm willing to find out what's going on. And they ain't trying to give you no daggone, no rhythm, no kind of, insight to anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like what are we here for? And then when you made up the point about, I would feel like it would be no competition, because this friend that he has is clearly someone that have been around for a very long time, okay? And also, and usually, not even the fact of him being a man, even though this is very important within this particular situation, but anytime that a side piece has been around for a very long time, 9 times out of 10, they're not going anywhere in a lot of situations, especially if they've grown up together, or it's that family friend. It happens all the time. But also, just like you said, and like a lot of people are saying within the comments about the sexual part of it, are they using protection? So it's a lot of different things with that. So that's totally and one of my moderators, C. Harris, she says, I'm wondering, did she know this beforehand? If she knew, then she was okay with it. There are so many dynamics to the situation. I don't know. I agree, C. Harris. That's why I hate that I wasn't able to talk to her so that I could find out more, because it is a lot of missing pieces. What do you think about it? What do you think? If you think are anything missing?
Oh, I think it's a lot of things missing. Yeah. Especially when, that other person, listen, just like I said, I'll be 52 next Wednesday.
Happy birthday.
Let me tell you something. Well, thank you. Let me tell you something. You can read people by the things that they don't say.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't about all they talking. You can read people by things that they say, but you can read things by what they don't say. And that's why I'm saying, he's been deceptive. Now, I always say this. I tell my children this. Now, listen. Something don't sound right to me. What you saying to me. Now, somebody ain't telling the whole truth.
Right.
You leaving something out.
Right.
So, it's a whole bunch of stuff that's being left out of this equation. And it's him being deceptive. And to me, just from the little bit that she's giving you, so you can, relay that to us and tell us what's going on. Listen, lady, honey, sweetie, ma'am, miss, you got to get your stuff and go. Yeah. Because it's dangerous. It's so dangerous on so many levels, because, like you said, they've been together, obviously, for a while. Yes. Right?
Yes.
Okay, what by chance if you be like, all honest with her, tell her the whole truth, and be like, well, I'm going to tell him I don't want no dealings with him. Do you know that's dangerous? I watch the ID and oxygen channel all the time. Yes. I don't date anybody. I'm scared. I swear to God.
I feel the same way.
Scared.
I I feel the same way, because there's so many scenarios that you see where people are setting people up, and they had this long time person. Like, it's really scary. And it also made me change a lot of my wicked ways, from things I've done in the past, because I'm like, oh, I look back at some of the stuff I done did, and I'm like, Lord, you was lucky. And watching the IT channel, it made me think like, okay, it's time for you to change your ways, because this could not end well. And then just everybody, hiding secrets, and you mixing bodies and everything like that. So no, I definitely agree with you when it comes to your whole assessment of this situation. I agree completely that she should just go ahead and leave, because if he's not willing to talk to her, and clearly she's been finding out secrets about him, she said, from the ex-girlfriend and the cousin. I mean, why would you want to remain in a situation to where it's like your feet is never on solid ground, the way I look at it,
And then with that too, people can make you turn into somebody that you don't even recognize anymore.
Very true.
Okay, you done got you into this situation, and you still trying to hold on, grasp on, or whatever you trying to do, dear, and you'll turn yourself into a desperate, crazy person. Trust me, I know.
Yes.
And when you can't see yourself anymore, you doing stuff that you never think that you would ever do in life.
Absolutely.
So that's when you gotta have, love yourself and walk the hell away. Because you know what? You won't do. It ain't even about, it's about somebody else doing something to you. But what if you did something to somebody else? Just because you love that person so much, you care for them, and you feel like, oh, I ain't getting nothing in return. I'm not receiving the same, feelings or love or care or whatever. That will make you lose it.
It will make you lose your mind. I can speak, like I said, from personal experience, and just going into the whole age thing. Like, I think that it depends on the age that you are before you can really say that you love yourself, because you have some people who are older who can clearly, you could tell by the way they live their life, they don't love themselves. And there were certain things for me in my past where I'm looking back at some of the things I participated in, some of the things I took, and I'm like, oh, I did not love myself back then. But once I really discovered and knew exactly what that real self-love was, it's like that person I was then, I don't even recognize her now. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly. And it's things that you have to grow into. I mean, some people catch it, earlier than the next person. But just like you said, listen, I know the women that's older than me and better, they still don't love themselves, and that to me is a tragedy.
Yes.
You learn yourself when you're younger, and you out here living life or whatever, raising kids or not, dating or whatever. But yeah, you just gotta love yourself. And yes, some women never realize to love themselves. I got a friend that I told her, listen, if I don't experience love anymore, if I'm not in love with it, don't bother me.
Yeah.
My husband been gone for 20 years, and I had a couple other, guys that I was in love with, and I was loved correctly.
Right.
So, I'm not searching for anything. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
So I think it's always somebody searching for things, and when they see, maybe friends or people in their family, or even just watching TV, they always searching for something. And baby, you're not gonna find it until you get by yourself.
Yep.
Be by yourself and really figure out the things that you want from someone. And you know what? You might realize you don't need no nigga.
I mean, yeah, you have to definitely know yourself. And like I said, that's a lesson I had to learn. You have to learn to be happy with yourself, because at one point in time, I was dependent on the mate to, fill whatever holes I had within me, until I decided, like, that's not their job. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly. And again, too, you attract how you act.
Yes.
You give off an aura. Just like I said, I got this one friend. You keep attracting the same bum.
Yep.
You keep on attracting them. You attract the same type of man. You know why? Because they can smell that sense of desperation.
Yes, they can.
She got it freaking going on, but she don't see that.
Yeah.
It just makes me so sad for her because I'm like, lady, you got it freaking going on, and you letting all this garbage into your life. And I'm like, just if it is nothing but for 4, 5, 6 months, get to yourself.
Yeah.
Just think about the things that you want, right? Take a pen and pad and paper and just write down the things that you want to do. I mean, we all need to do it, which I'm not good at it, but I do it. I'm a more mental person. I don't really like writing shit down.
Right.
I don't want nobody coming up behind me trying to read my shit.
Yeah.
That stuff happened to me when I was 12 years old, and I ain't appreciate it. So I'm just like that. I don't really write things down because it's personal to me.
Yeah.
But I just think, just get to if anybody out here that's listening, that's going through that, ladies, please love yourself and just get to yourself for just a little while. If it's nothing but for like 60, 90 days,
yeah,
get to yourself, get by yourself, and figure out what you want. Because that right there, being unhappy, that is very unhealthy.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I don't understand.
And now let me read something.
Come home to their home now. That's what's bad.
Yes.
That girl got to come home to that man every day. If she leaving for work, and you got to come home and be unhappy and question your relationship. No, ma'am.
Wait, let me read Scorpion Harris, because she made a great she asked a great question. She said, is she wrong for giving him a chance? Many that are bisexuals get judged for that. Well, I would say from my personal opinion, no, she's not wrong for giving him a chance. You get what I'm saying? Because just like my thought is, you are free to love whoever it is that you want to love. But at the end of the day, if there's dishonesty within the situation and he's not trying to talk to her, I mean, what is the point of being there? That's like living in a prison. And, you know, Sexy Harlem, I don't know whether or not they have any children. Like I said, it's a lot of missing holes to this story.
Well, with the bisexual partner, see, ain't nothing wrong with it. Just like I said, we know it's all types of relationships. People do stuff all the time, and that ain't for nobody to judge. You live how you want to live. As long as it's with another consenting adult, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But anyway, with that being said, no, it ain't nothing wrong. Just like you said, ain't nothing wrong with, you know, with she being bisexual. That's what she want to do. Hey, more power to her. But with that being said, that ain't what's happening.
Yeah.
That right there, that's not what's happening.
Yeah.
What she told you.
No, I definitely definitely agree with that. It's just a lot, you know, and I would not want to be in her circumstance whatsoever, because that's a difficult situation, especially when you've gotten your feelings involved, you know. So, you know, she just gotta, like you say, give herself love and just walk away. Like, even just period, just from being in a circumstance to where your partner will not talk to you, and then it's nothing worse than feeling like everybody around you knows something and they're not saying something. You're in the one in the dark, and he not the only one that's acting different. The family is acting different. That's a very lonely place to be in.
That alone right there, that stuff with people, because you know, people whisper and talk. One person, if 2 people know, then 30 people know.
Of course.
Because it always take another person to know something. And if that ex-girlfriend told her something, come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, sweetie, yeah. Now, she probably needs to let you know more, but from what she's told you, yeah, because once again, he's not being honest. Even if, you know, she's willing to talk and he don't want to talk, then yeah, something's up with that. That don't sound right. Something ain't clean in the buttermilk. I'm sorry. Yeah, so she gonna have to, you know, she asked you. Now listen, it ain't like nobody dipping in nobody's business, because I'm like that. Don't tell me what to do, and don't be in my business. You know.
I get it.
If she brought that to you, she wanted some feedback, and this is what you're gonna get.
Well, actually, I believe that she just emailed me now, and I believe that she wants to call in. If this is yes, you can definitely call in. Yes, definitely. call in, because we would love to, get more of an understanding. And like I said, I assure you, like I said in my last video, I don't know whether you listened to the last one. All of us are here in love, but at the same time,
no, nobody's gonna
yeah, people are going to express they're going to express their opinions, and some of them, you may not like, but everybody is not here to beat up on you, but they are going to be honest and tell the truth about how they feel. But I would love for you to go ahead and call in, so that you can give us more of an insight into how you're feeling. The call in number is 1646-570-1040, and the PIN number is 953-7243. And like Sub Honey said, it is a no judgment zone. And I Am Unknown for now says it's all with love and respect.
Well, exactly, sweetie. Nobody's here to judge you. Just like I said, listen, I got bisexuals, gays, all up and through my family, so I know what it is. I love everybody, and just like I said, you love who you love. That's nobody's freaking business. As long as it's with another consenting adult, who gives a shit who you go to bed with? I don't understand why people get so up in arms about what somebody do in the privacy of their own home.
I agree.
I don't understand it. I don't get it. Hello?
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go, and thank you for calling in. I'm about to take the next caller. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Bye, everybody.
Hello, caller. How are you?
I'm fine. Yeah, sorry about last night.
Oh no, it's
hours. So
it's okay. It's absolutely fine.
I didn't want to do it in front of my husband.
Oh no, of course, I understand. So, are you the anonymous lady who wrote the email? Okay, thank you. No, it's okay. I understood. I was willing to give you the platform anytime that you were ready. Before you began what it is that you need to say, again, I want to assure you that this is a no judgment zone. Again, I thank you so much for even having the balls to even write an email like that. I assure you again that I will not take it for granted, and that you are in a love space. Of everybody that's in my chat, they agree. So you can begin however it is that you would like to begin.
Okay. I discussed this issue before, and I had my husband with me with another YouTuber.
Okay.
And that YouTuber turned around, and in his chat he started saying that my husband might be a child molester.
Oh,
and
no.
all of that. So that didn't go so well.
No, that won't happen here.
I've been watching you for a while.
Okay.
For a while. So I feel like more comfortable with talking to you.
Thank you.
About this. I've been new about my husband's past before we even became boyfriend and girlfriend.
Okay.
Years ago. I've been new. Now, where the girlfriend come in at, she didn't tell me nothing like that until after me and him got married. Okay, my husband, he's a recovering addict. I'm not.
Okay.
I've never been on drugs. But my husband, he's in recovery for smoking PCP.
Okay.
So he said back in PCP and syrup, and he said back then, he had to do what he had to do to get the drug because his family cut him off.
Okay.
So I understood because my mom is a recovering addict.
Okay.
So me and him, we became cool, and then we wound up together in a relationship, and we wound up getting married. Now this is where the weird part come on. The same cousin that told me, and this was before me and him got married, she was telling me that he's such a good man, and he keeps the job, which is a lie. He keeps the job, and he's a good father and all of that.
Okay.
And this is before we got married. So she found out that me and him got married. I talked to her on the phone. She asked for my phone number on Facebook. She wanted to know what type of wedding we had. And I told her that we got married at the masjid. And she had an issue with that because I'm not Muslim.
Okay.
So she got upset about that. So, you know, me and her talking, and she was saying, she was like, you know, he can something about the hell, or he can go to hell, or something of that sort.
Okay.
So then I came out and I told her the truth. I said, he don't want me to associate with you or that side of the family. And I was like, because I didn't like what she was saying about him. I was like, and plus he said you had an older anyway.
Okay.
Now I was wrong for telling her that. So then once I told her that, that's when she was like, you know what? She was like, I'm done keeping this nigga secret. And that's when she started telling me all this stuff.
Okay.
One particular story is about this guy. I'm not going to say his real name. I'm going to just call him Beth.
Okay.
Okay, it's this guy that he went to high school with, or whatever. And him and the guy were good friends. The guy is openly gay. Okay, and his cousin was telling me how my husband would stay with the guy, and my husband would come back with new clothes and money and all of it.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I'm like, oh, all right. So what I did was I took it to my husband. All right, I took it to him, and after I took it to him, he had like they said he went into psychosis. I don't know if you know what that means, but he had like a nervous breakdown or something like that.
I'm aware of it.
I had the 302 him. Okay,
Child.
And we weren't even married. We got married in January. I had the 302 him May of 2017. I 302 him. All right. So then, while we up there, the social worker was saying, you know, because I was going to leave him alone, like, because I only got one kid.
Okay.
So I don't do the drama.
Right.
So, hold on, I'm sorry. Hello.
This is deep.
Alright, Mom, hello, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're okay. You're fine.
I live down the street from my mom, so whenever she wants something, I gotta jump up. And she another one also. She another one that peeped it, but not about the gay stuff.
Okay.
He was saying he was using me because I make more than him.
Okay.
You know, like I make a lot of money. So but anyway, the guy does. Okay. So the guy, I'm gonna put his name out there, Sylvester. Sylvester had contacted my husband on Facebook. This was after the mental hospital incident.
Okay.
He contacted my husband on Facebook. I act like my husband, right?
Yeah.
So, because I had my husband's passcodes and everything. So I pretended on Facebook Messenger that I was my husband. And Sylvester was like, just call me. You can call me. And I'm like, no, I'm married now. Sylvester was like, okay, so you can still call me. And then I was like, well, my cousin told my wife that I'm gay. And Sylvester was like, why would she say that? You know, we just best friends. Why would she say that? So I didn't know how to take that. Okay? That's one other incident. All right? Now, the other incident is me and my husband, we was walking to the store. He ran into this guy that he grew up with. Now, I never seen two straight men touch each other's face. I mean, they the other guy Muslim too. He had what you call it, the sunnah. I can't pronounce it.
Okay.
You know, the hair on their face. Okay,
yeah.
My husband went and like touched his beard and like pulled something out of his beard. It looked weird. And I didn't feel right. I mean, when I tell you I stayed up for 2 nights because of that.
Wow.
I stayed up for 2 whole nights. So when I decided, like, I always would try to talk to him about it. And, you know, he had got locked up in February for child support.
Oh,
okay,
Lord.
Which is something that I don't want to deal with anyway, and it's fucked up. He only got this one boy, this one child, but the child isn't his. But where we at, if you sign that birth certificate, you have to pay child support. So he don't want to pay for a child that's not his. So he had to do time, and I felt like, I'm not paying no child support for no man. That's too much.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me jump in here and ask you this, because you said that you have a son as well, right?
Yeah, I have a son.
How is their relationship?
Okay, my son, I have a teenager. My son is actually protective of him. The only thing my son don't like is when me and my husband argue, my son just tell him, don't touch my mom. That's it. He's not abusive or nothing. I'm more aggressive with the argument.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
And my son is cool.
So of course your son have been around the entire time where all of this stuff was going on, as far as him going to the mental hospital, you and him having arguments with each other. I have two questions, because there's one of them in the comments, and one of them wants to know, are you okay with him being bisexual, your husband? Do you feel like he's bisexual, or that he's just straight up gay? Like, what is your answer?
I think I don't know what he is, and no, I'm not okay with it. That's why I have came to this was my New Year's resolution, is to find out the truth. You know what I'm saying? To get to the truth, and then to off his ass. Get him out of my life. No, I do not want no man that likes the same thing I like, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay? I've been in a relationship with a bisexual man before, and they are very sneaky. Okay? They are extremely sneaky, and I do not want to deal with that no more. And something just happened not too long ago that made me I'm glad you posted this on YouTube. It made me reach out to you. Okay, my husband takes my time sheet to my job. I'm a residential aide.
Okay.
He takes my time sheet for me to my job. So he took my time sheet to my job, but on that day, okay, his sister had cashed that car fare. This was a rent week, and if you a rent week, it's difficult, So
right.
His sister, whatever, she cashed that, the car fare. So I didn't even know that he was texting this other nigga. Okay, so the bull, my husband out of nowhere is like, I'm gonna say the guy name. His nickname is Wack. Okay.
Oh wow.
He was like, Wack want me to walk all the way to Fifth and Spring Garden to meet him. And where I live at, from Fifth and Spring Garden, that is a long ass walk, especially in the heat. So he's like, I'm gonna walk. I said that did not make sense. Me and this man got into a fight because he wanted to go walk and meet this nigga. Okay. So then, later on that night, my son was in the kitchen with me while I was cooking, and my son was like, Mom, I'm about to say his name. Mom, Rob walked past the playground with some guy. So I said, what the guy had on? He said the guy had on a Dunkin' Donuts uniform. That's where Wack works. Wack works at Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh,
my
Lord.
husband told me that the guy went straight back to work. Okay, that he did not come home with him. All right, he said he went straight back to work. So that didn't add up. So I put my husband out. I was like, you know what? I said I have a gut feeling something ain't right. I said I just thought you need to leave. Go stay at your cousin's house.
Wait, let me interrupt you. What makes you stay? Because I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Within
so we're legally, I'm gonna be honest with you. We're legally married. Where I fucked up at. Okay, the legal issue and the harassment. Okay, I had neighbors. This man will literally stand outside and scream my name at the top of his lungs. And I'm not even on front. I love him. I love him. I haven't physically courted him with another man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going off of my gut. And my mom always told me, you know, like your gut, go with your gut first. If something ain't right, then it ain't right.
And then the thing I want to say, the thing I want to say too, because you brought up, you said something interesting. Like I said, I want to assure you that I'm not coming from a bad place. But when I asked you about how your son feels about this situation, and you were saying that he was never abusive, you do realize that there are many different forms of abuse, and you also do realize that as children, a lot of times, whether you feel like you're doing the stuff in front of them or not, kids can feel everything. Okay. And I'm telling you this as a person who was a child myself, who grew up in that type of home. Okay. And I can tell you at the age of almost 38, how much me growing up in that type of environment, from the things I saw and the things I did not see, the things that family members were saying, how much that affected me. So I understand that is not an easy situation for you, but think about your son, and don't think for a second that just because he's sitting there acting like he's okay, that this will not affect him in his later years, the longer that he stays. So I really just want you to consider that. Again, I am sensitive to the fact that it's not an easy situation, okay? And I do pray that...
Can I just tell you this real quick?
Yes, definitely.
I normally won't say this, but my son, I'm not going to put where he is out there, but my son did. He came to me and he talked to me. And he told me, he said, because my husband is 38. And my son said that he feels like he's pathetic, my husband. He said to be that old and scared to come out the closet. He said that's very pathetic of him. So it is, my son, he looks down on him, but at the same time, my son still has some type of respect for him because he's been around my son.
Yeah.
Since my son was like 9 or 10. So, but my son don't look up to him. He said to be 38 years old, he's like, he almost knocking on 40 years old door. He said, Mom, he's pathetic.
Well, I want to ask this. I want to ask this. How long, because I get with everything that you just said, but I want to say, how long do you think that you're going to put up with this? Because there's a lot of red flags. Definitely.
I'm done now.
And I just pray that you're able to leave that situation, not only for yourself, but for your son.
So hateful, not to cut you off, but he is so evil. I mean, all right, say for instance, we're watching TV. My thing is, I like YouTube.
Right.
So I'm not gonna lie. I like to watch the videos and shit about the drama and the celebrity drama. So I watch YouTube or whatever. And sometimes I might go on Facebook. So I'll go onto his Facebook sometimes and I'll ask him, I'll be like, well, who's such and such? It could be a female. And this ignorant man, he'll just snap. Like, he'll go off, what you keep asking me that the fuck for? What you keep asking? Like, I'm looking at him like, I didn't cuss at you.
And see, that's right there. That right there is a form of abuse. And what I could say to you is this. Just like everybody in the chat is saying, I pray that you do be strong enough to go ahead and leave. And when you do leave, which I pray that you do, when you do leave for yourself and also for your son, I would advise you to get counseling. I would advise you to do that because you're going to need it. And I also advise that even if your son is aware of the situation, because he really shouldn't even have to even think or conjure up any thoughts about this in his mind, but I would advise that you get him counseling as well. And like I said, I'm telling you this from someone who was a child who witnessed that. And I can't tell you in how many ways that it affected my life. So I'm telling you that you're not talking to a grown person right now. You're talking to someone, like I said, who went through that, who still have trouble sleeping at night at almost 38 years old because of stuff I went through for 12 years. Please. If you can't do it for can't do it for yourself, do it for your son.
But this is another thing also. When we met, okay, this nigga, I guess he wanted to make his baby mom mad or something. This nigga, do you know this nigga took pictures? Because when we met, I was living with my mom. Do you know this nigga took pictures of my room? And then in the text message, he told her, he was like, aha, bitch. It was like, LOL, bitch. I'm not on no sofa, bitch. And I got somebody. This man, I never had the encounter with niggas. It was the bitches. It was the women. And these women were like NA looking women. Like I don't want to say the wrong thing. These women look like women that were in the meetings with my mom when I was younger. Them NA meetings I used to go to with my mom. They looked like that. So then we had an issue. That was the issue. And so now the issue is the gay shit, okay? And then the fact that his family don't like me. Because when I put him out, he gets to run and tell his side of the story. You know, and to make it look like it's all my fault, and that don't be the case. I even tried to talk to his sister. And his sister is like, she believed me, but she don't want to believe me.
I mean, at the end of the day, when it come to his family, I mean, that's her brother. Like I said, I totally get what you're saying. But like I said, I'm a person that deal in absolutes when it comes to many things. The point is, you done been through a lot with this man. Clearly, there's been abuse. Clearly, there's been other issues. And my concern is for you to just go. You know, just do what you got to do to leave, because there's no reason at this point to have conversations about it or with him, because clearly he doesn't want to talk. Clearly the situation.
This is my house, and all the bills and everything is in my name.
Yeah.
I want him to leave. The cops told me that in order for him to leave, to go downtown and get a restraining order and all of that. The only issue with that is, I know the DL shit and all of that.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see nobody locked up. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but see,
and then when I told him last night, I said I wanted divorce. And he was like, I don't care. That's just what he said. He's like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. So I'm like, well, I'm moving on. And when I mean that I'm moving on, I mean that, nigga, that means me and you, we're not sexually active. You're not going to sleep in my room. You know, you sleep down. This is 3-bedroom house. You take the other room. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was even nice enough to let him stay here so he could get his shit together. But I can't deal with his mouth. His mouth is smart. He argues back when he's like a female.
Well, this is the thing.
I want him out my house.
I mean, well, this is the thing. You got to do what you got to do to get him out. I mean, and also, if it takes you, because first, okay, I know that's your house and everything. Point is, you got to get that energy away from you, period. You got to get that away from you. And you have to get that away from your son. And you cannot be concerned. And I understand it's hard because you love this man. But you cannot be concerned with whether he going to jail, whether he this or not. Because what if he gets mad enough one night and he kills you? I'm just being completely honest with the situation. What if he snaps and unfortunately he takes your life? You have to consider that. At this time, you have to worry about yourself and your son. Forget what it is, him going to jail, whatever. Because at the end of the day, he have not been respecting you all of this time. Forget what his family says. They have not been respecting you all of this time. And at the end of the day, that's his family. It's not yours. I'm concerned about you doing what you got to do for yourself. And even if that is your house, if it takes you leaving that house and all them possessions that you can get back, if it takes you and your son disappearing for y'all to be safe, you need to do what you got to do to get out of that situation. And I'm not trying to be inconsiderate about it, but I'm worried about your safety.
I understand. I get what you're saying.
You know, but
like I do. I understand.
I appreciate you calling in. We can definitely do this again. I have another caller. Okay. But I really appreciate you calling in and sharing your story with us. I'm gonna take some more calls, and you know, hopefully
I'll be in the chat.
Yeah, but yeah, and we can definitely do this again. We can do a part 3 to this if there are more things that you want to express. But I do want to thank you for trusting me enough for me to do this on my platform. There's no judgment. I was just giving my honest opinion, but I do give it with love.
Okay, no problem. And thank you so much for accepting my call and listening.
You're welcome. You have a good one. I'm going to take the next caller.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hello, you're on the line.
Hey.
Hi.
Hello. How you doing?
Good. How are you? Who am I speaking with?
This is Deanna.
Hi.
And I'm enjoying the call-in.
Thank you.
You're like a pro, honey.
Thank you. Deanna is representing the WGQs. Just to put it out there, she represents the WGQs, which is the We Got Questions. Please subscribe to her channel and show her that love. She has an excellent channel. Go ahead, Deanna, and let me know your thoughts on the situation.
Well, my thoughts is sometimes you got to be strong enough to let go. It always don't matter what all you've been through with a person. It sometimes there be a lesson to tell you what you don't need to be going through.
Amen.
And I just think she just probably need to bite the bullet and take the steps that she needs to take and learn. Shoot, let it go. But sometimes I don't know, you be in a situation so long till you think that that's the only thing that it is, you know?
Definitely.
You get so used to shit and it's so comfortable to stuff, but honey, all the time, that ain't the way. Sometimes there be a lesson you need to learn to let go.
Amen.
So, I think you did give her some good advice. Yes, don't put nobody else's feelings and care about them not going to jail before you care about yourself.
Yeah.
And your own family.
Because we see it every day. People, you know, getting the ID channel. I know people, when I was growing up, different friends' mothers getting killed by their husbands. And, you know, it happens all the time. And like I said, you know, I've ran into women like her before. And I always try to talk to them from the child's point of view, because you never really talk to a child and see what it is that they go through growing up in that type of environment. And like I said, I did for 12 years, and it affected me greatly. And luckily, by the grace of God, that the universe helped me enough to where I knew to go get counseling, or I took care of my certain anger issues or not wanting to trust people. Dealing with that. And I don't think that parents understand how much that affects little girls and little boys.
And you're right. And you're right.
Yep.
And you're right about that, because you never know how they reacting and what they going through, or how they gonna grow up and react to do the same thing, you know, because that's all they know. If that's all they seen, and they don't know how to express their feelings, that's exactly what they gonna do.
Yeah, it comes out in anger. And you know, also by the grace of God, I never had an abusive relationship. But there are times where I let my anger get so bad in the past that I've struck out, and luckily those men
trying to protect yourself
were, because even if a voice was raised, you know, that took me, because a lot of times we don't understand the traumas that we all carry. And so even if a voice is raised, you know, that take you back. And I remember one time I snapped. And, you know, by the grace of God, the guy did not hit me back. But that let me know right there that, okay, first of all, you can't do this. Number two, you need to go get help and get counseling. I'm glad I did, because somebody could have killed me. I could have killed somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's definitely a learning lesson. So I just pray that she does go get help and just, you know, get the strength to walk away, because it's not easy when you've been with somebody for so long. You know, even the chaos. And then I think also with her mentioning that her mother was a recovering addict, that's something that's familiar to her. So that also could have aided in the reason why she was drawn to his energy.
So long.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah. But I enjoyed the call in. I'm going to let you get to the next caller.
Thank you, Deanna.
In this chat. Well, you're so welcome. You know I'm always here to support, honey.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you for calling in. And I'm going to get to the next caller.
All right, boo. Talk to you later.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hear me?
Hello, caller. How are you?
Hey, it's Myrtle again. It's me again.
Oh, it's cool. Hey, Myrtle.
I just wanted to say one more thing. Since she called in and gave insight or whatever, is this the same lady that wrote you? Is that?
Yes.
Because I've been in and out.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, it's the same one.
Okay, since we got more insight, I'm going to say this.
Okay.
I'm going to please, whoever, because I know people go through stuff, and just, because since we know the story,
yeah,
I've been a child that's witnessed abuse, and I mean severe stuff, shit that you see on TV this day.
Yes.
Happened to me and my twin brother, you know, for, you know, somebody not loving themselves enough to be with anybody that don't love your kids. Listen, let me tell you something. You young ladies, even you older ones, if you got a child in your house and a man don't care nothing about your child, honey, he don't care nothing about you.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that much. And with that being said, all this stuff that we see on TV, just like that little baby that's still missing, that 4-year-old baby.
Yes.
Same scenario. She found out that he liked men, right?
Mm-hmm.
Found out he was gay. Where that baby at? Still they found that little girl. But they see him coming in and out that apartment while she done left that baby with him. Matter of fact, he had already abused the child and had just gave her the baby back.
Wow.
Wasn't his kid either.
Wow.
He didn't do nothing to his 1-year-old child. But the little girl she misses still.
Wow.
So I'm gonna say this. Listen, if you ain't gonna do it for yourself, do it for your baby.
Yes.
Because a person takes something away from you that you love the most to get back at you.
Yes, they will.
Even the real daddy, the real mamas that do something to their own kids to get back at somebody.
Very true.
So I'm just saying, because that bothers me. That just, it burns me up inside, because just like you say, it takes you back to a space where you wish you could forget.
Yeah. It's a very excuse me, it's a very, very traumatic thing. And like I said, I dealt with it for years. It made me angry all the time. It made me not want to trust anyone. It just made me be a hermit, because I didn't know how to react. And then it made me also hide myself, even from how I used to dress. Like, I didn't want nobody paying any attention to me or whatever, because I had this situation going on, and it was just difficult. And that's why even for now, I can say that I probably do need to go get more counseling, just being raw, because it makes it to where I don't even trust nobody around my son. That's one of the major reasons why I have not dated, because I don't want to run into someone who this type of situation goes down, and then my son having to live through the same things I had to live through. That's one of the main reasons why I've remained single. And that's just being raw with y'all. So I know exactly how, it messes with you. It messes with your self-esteem. Even as far as, your creativity. It stunted my creativity and everything. Everything was like a secret in my head, because I was too scared to reveal who I really was or show myself to the world because I was afraid of these things that I'm seeing. And like I said, affecting my sleep and everything. That's why I'm up a lot. And like I said, I'm almost 40 years old. But being woken up out of my sleep, because I'm hearing certain sounds and stuff being thrown and all types of stuff, it's still a very difficult thing for me to deal with. You get what I'm saying? So I get exactly what it is that you're saying.
Yeah, I just like you just said. If you raise your voice at me, if you get rowdy with me, listen, bye, I'm out. Mm-hmm. Don't talk to me like that because when something wells up in me, like this ain't for me because I can't stand all that. I don't like all that arguing. I don't like none of that. So you cannot raise your voice to me. Like if I'm just meeting somebody and they say, and I know this is my brother gets on me so much about this. He's like, you don't give nobody a chance. Yep. I was like, listen, I'm just built that way. It's only certain things that it's key things that I look for, and if you do something, I'm out. Yeah. Don't talk to me. I don't like the way you spoke to me. I don't like that.
My patience is very short. My patience is very short, even when it comes to just people, period. I just, as many people as I know, like I said, that's why, and it's kind of off the subject, but that's why Vegas was so wonderful for me, because that was the first time of me taking a chance and opening up to people. Because as many people as I know, as many people who enjoy my company, who I know is there for me, there's still a distance that I keep because of everything that I've been through. And when I went to Vegas, that was the first time that I actually totally let my wall completely down. And that's why it was so emotional for me, because that was a big step for me to be able to do that. And then it felt good. So it made me even consider trusting people again. Like, people don't really understand how much that trip meant to me. I wouldn't have never went out of town with strangers and stuff like that. So, it was just a beautiful thing. And it just showed me that you don't have to let your past be a crutch or stop you from being who you are now and just taking chances. You get what I'm saying? Because all of that stuff, growing up like that, it affects you in so many ways, and parents don't understand that, but at the same time, they're the ones going through it as well. You start to realize too that your parents are growing along with you, which is what I understood about my parents. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a difficult thing when kids have to witness any type of thing. It's just not fair.
Well, I'll say this. I just think that God gives us children, us ladies, because they're the ones that carries them, nourishes them until they make it here to earth.
Yes.
And we are the one that introduces them to God. We are their gods until we introduce them to God.
Yeah.
And that's what I always tell my daughters. Listen, you got to take care of these kids because you are the only thing that they know.
Yeah.
You can't let nobody come in and do this, that, and the other to them. Oh, no. Because I don't go for that. I will go to prison. I will do something to somebody and call the police and tell them to come pick me up.
Yeah.
Because you don't do stuff to children. Children only get what you give them.
Yeah.
And I'm in a situation right now, and I don't want to cry, but I got two of my grandkids because of a situation like that, because I don't want nothing to happen to them, because I couldn't live with myself, because I don't want any child, but let alone somebody their blood is running through their veins is the same as mine, to go what me and my twin brother went through.
I understand, and it's okay. No, Myrtle, let me tell you something. Don't you ever apologize for expressing your emotion. I appreciate the fact that you are even trusting not only me, but all of us, because this is a real human situation and we have emotions. So I totally get where it is that you're coming from. So don't you ever apologize for being a human being. It's okay. It is okay. Because at this very moment, you needed to release those tears. And nobody is going to say nothing to you about it. And if they do, so what? Me and the elements, we are here for you. You can do that. Okay? So don't ever apologize to me for being a human being. Okay?
Yeah, okay. It's just that, I broke down on Sean's one night because, sometimes things can be so overwhelming and you just work and you take care of people.
Yeah.
And then you don't realize anything until you start talking about it.
Yeah.
And you know how you just try to avoid things? But I didn't know it was going to go off to this. Now, when you got children involved, you got to think another way. Listen, grown people live the way they want to.
Yes.
But when you start having babies and bringing life into this world, do something better, be better, make another choice, choose something else, because don't take your kids through unnecessary things.
Yeah, no, definitely.
You can make them into a monster. And me and my twin talk about this all the time. Thank God. We had grandparents and a great grandmother too.
Yeah.
On both sides, that made us, regular, made us feel like we were normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we could be monsters. You could be reading about us doing something. Because it's easy to do. It's easy to slip over that line.
Yeah, no, it's very easy to do that. And that's why, like I said, with me having a son myself, I'm very careful when it comes to him. And I've said before, even when it comes to the mother and son dynamic, I always liken it to it being a delicate dance. It's a very, very delicate dance. And I have always been the person that observes around me. And, when it comes to people confiding in me, like I've had a lot of male people confide in me. And I've heard and talked to some of them who may have went through things with their mothers. And I take that as a lesson for myself. And that is why I went and I got counseling, because when I physically had my son, a lot of my childhood traumas came up physically having him. And luckily also, he has an excellent father, so I was super blessed when it comes to that in that entire situation, because he has a great father, so that's also a good thing too. And then me and his father have an excellent co-parenting relationship, you know what I'm saying? But I had to get myself together and, so that I would not repeat the cycle or make it think it's okay to have somebody up in here, arguing with them, being disrespectful. Like my son ain't used to no type of environment like that. You get what I'm saying? And I didn't want him growing up to be an angry man, or either, like some situations I've heard of to where, if I'm sitting up in here with a man acting a fool, my son, he love his mama. I don't want him sitting up there fighting or killing the man trying to defend me, and then I got to look at my son sitting in prison because my ass wasn't able to leave. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly. You putting your children's life in danger either way. Either they're gonna take up for you, they seeing you getting treated some type of way, and then they're gonna take up for you. You never know how it can go.
Yeah.
So just don't put your children in such situations as that. Is what I'm saying. Listen, at the end of the day, we so emotional, and we're so like, I'm looking for a good word for this.
Yeah.
Things like we talking about, things happen in your past because because she said her mom was addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So with that being said, something was lacking in her life, and so that's, to me, from the outside looking in, you chasing after something that you can't attain with that man.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna happen.
Yeah. I agree.
You're not gonna be able to fix him, honey. That ain't your job, no way.
Yeah.
So,
and a lot of us suffer. A lot of us suffer with that.
In your house, right there with you. Focus on that. Nurture that.
Yeah.
Because that right there, that is what matters right there.
Yeah.
Because he got a family. Obviously, she said she talked to his sister, right?
Yeah, but she said, she
Listen.
tried to, and she said that they really don't really deal with her like that. But when she do try to talk to them, it's like they kind of like stay out of it. Well, which I understand that's a difficult situation.
I understand that. I understand.
Yeah, it's a difficult situation. And she's in the comments, and she said, "I said I'm leaving." No, strong woman, we know that. And like I said, we're just having an honest discussion, and some of the opinions may be hard to hear. But we're not trying to be disrespectful to you, but we over here are honest. And again, I thank you for sharing the story, but people are going to give their honest opinions. And I'm not saying that you're taking it that way. I just want to make it clear that everybody that is a part of the elements.
Honey. I'm not jumping up, but it makes me feel some type of way as a child of abuse. That's abusive what your son is witnessing. That man talking to you crazy, saying all this type of stuff, your son seeing stuff, honey.
Yeah.
That's abuse.
Yeah.
He might not be putting his hands on you, but that's abuse. That's emotional abuse. So you can't allow your child to know that stuff, and then you saying, oh, he you don't have no respect for him because he ain't even man enough to come out the closet to okay. That sound like the child got more sense than the man do.
Yeah.
My child said that to me. I'll be going right in that bedroom, open up them closet doors, putting shit in trash bags, and be like, here, bye, goodbye.
Yeah.
Toodaloo, Van Moose, because the baby got more sense than he do.
Yeah, that's it.
The man.
Yeah.
He's thinking like a man.
And it's not even fair that he has to even be in the situation to where he have to even think like that. And like I said, I totally agree with you, Myrtle, because again, we both pretty much grew up the same, so it's a very sensitive issue. However, again, like I said, I am sensitive to the fact that it's not always easy to just things are easier said than done, because even if it's a dysfunction that you're used to. And one of the scariest things about trying to even meet someone new is having to go through that process and learning them again, and then seeing if it don't work out, and you like, well, hell, I might as well stay with my life. So I am very sensitive to that. So do not think that I am not. But however, I speak for the child in the situation.
Exactly.
And I think that it'll be healthy.
No, it's not healthy for me. And ma'am, no, I'm not, nobody is judging you, because when we get older, we get to see what our parents experience when we become parents, and then you be more understanding as well too. But with that, you got to think of your baby. At the end of the day, please, if you don't think about nothing else, think of him and his mental, well-being, his mental health. Think about that. Just think about that if you don't think about nothing else.
Well, thank you so much, Myrtle. I'm going to go ahead and end the phone calls. Thank you so much for calling in. Again, never, ever, if we're talking about a subject that happens to touch you or anybody else and you feel the need to express emotion, I am putting a rule on this channel. I do not want to hear none of y'all saying you sorry. If you need to let a tear flow, if you need to cuss, go ahead and do you. That is what we do over here, because you shedding those tears or you letting out those emotions could be the key that need to be unlocked for you to be free in something in your life. It can happen at any moment, and allow it to. So again, Myrtle, I thank you so much for your participation in this thing. I'm going to go ahead and end the phone lines, and then I'm going to go ahead and say my goodbyes to the other elements. Thank you so much.
Okay, well, thank you, everybody, and just keep me and my little grandbabies in prayer.
I will, and we definitely will.
For her mama to act right. Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, guys, I want to thank
the only person in this conference.
I want to thank all of you for participating in this conversation. This was the very first time the call-in was successful, so I'm so happy about that. To the person who did write the email, I do, again, also want to thank you for choosing my platform to do this on. I pray that none of the things that you're not offended by anything, but we keep it real over here. And we do want the situation to go well for you. So I pray that the strength that you need in order to make your life better and your son's life better, I pray that that kicks into full flow so that you can walk away and get the life that you deserve, because it is possible. To all my elements, again, thank you guys for all the support that you guys continue to give me. Okay, I appreciate it so immensely. We'll talk about this later, and we'll talk about other things later. To anybody that happens to listen to this broadcast, if there is something that you want to spill your own damn tea about, please do not hesitate to email me at lionessqueen81@outlook.com. You will see that email inside of the description link, and email me. And if you just want it to be an email to where me and the elements, we give our opinions on it, or if you want it to be to where you call in, of course you can remain anonymous. We will never beat you down. We will make you feel safe, but we will keep it real. Okay, I want you guys to enjoy the rest of your nights, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye, elements.